Yeah, hi. Today's topic is COP evaluation. Okay, so what is this COP evaluation? Okay, see the thing is valuation is a functionality in COPA which is used to extract extra information or calculate extra information in COPA itself. Okay, for example, I have information in COPA like this based on the configuration without validation. Okay, for example, I have, let me insert a table. Okay, cost of sales, discount, and revenue. Okay, let me. Okay, I have two products here. Product A and product B. Okay, product B, cost of sales for product A is 2700 and discount 100 rupees, and revenue is 3600 rupees, and product B 3000 rupees, and discount 150, and revenue 4000 rupees. Okay, so here, so this is the information I have. Okay, so data without valuation. Okay, so based on the okay, based on SD2 COPA mapping. Okay, so based on like we map like various SD conditions to COPA value fields. So revenue, COGS, discount, these are mapping fields, and it has its own, every mapping field value field has its own uh, condition type in SD. So you can extract this information in based on the SD to COPA mapping. And the problem is like this. Okay, I am someone in strategic position, so I want to know, I don't believe this information. For example, here, so I want to see the contribution margin. So contribution margin here is 7600 minus of 5700 plus 250 rupees. So I'll get the contribution margin here, but I don't believe this is the correct information. There are other expenditure involved here. Okay, for example, okay, my requirement is like this. So my requirement is, so additional expenses like freight charges, sales commission, so is to be calculated. So expenses like freight charges, commission is to be calculated. So these are not available. So these commission, freight charges, these are not available in invoice. So about data, for example, cost of sales, discount, revenue. So these things have been extracted from billing data into COPA. But billing data do not have this information like freight charges, commission. So we can calculate. So the solution is calculate freight charges. Okay, above expenses in okay in COPA itself. Okay, in COPA using okay COPA using valuation using COPA valuation using conditions. So how this can be done? For example, here we should know the what would be the freight charges and what would be the commission. For example, here freight charges. Freight charges is equal to so 5 rupees per kg. For each kg 5 rupees is the freight charges, and 2% is the commission. Commission is okay 2% of what? So 2% of revenue. Okay, that is my requirement. We should know. So at least like we can calculate in COP itself if you know the what would be the price charges and what is the commission you are going to pay. So basically these price charges, these things are not immediately so available when you transfer the data from SD to COPA. So in COPA itself you can calculate them using condition technique. So after using condition tech based valuation, so the data is going to look like this. Okay, see here the for example condition. So we need to add more value fields. So here we need to add commission. Okay, so 2% of 3600 rupees is 72 rupees, and 2% of 4000 is 80 rupees is the commission. You can calculate in COP itself. And what about freight charges? So freight charges, okay, I'll need to insert one more column. So freight charges is, how do you know, like this is 5 rupees for, so this is quantity based. So based on the quantity you are going to pay freight charges. So we need to add one more column here. So that is quantity. Okay, so here for example this is for 10 kgs and this is also for 10 kgs. So this cost of sales is for 2700 is for 10 kgs. So here actually basically the information is like this. So cost of sales is equal to, so product A cost of sales I'll give is equal to 2700 rupees into 10 kgs. Okay, same way revenue also, product A revenue is equal to 360 rupees into 10 kgs. So that is revenue. Same way for product B also. So 10 kgs, 300 rupees is the cost of sales and 400 rupees is the revenue from each item. So 10 kgs. So quantity is 10 here. So based on the 10 kgs, freight charges will be 50 rupees here and again 50 rupees here. So this you can calculate using this condition based COPA valuation. Okay, so data is going to look like this after implementing this COPA valuation using conditions. So here the thing you need to do is you need to insert more value fields in the operating concern. So you have to include these three value fields in the operating concern. Okay, so this is one requirement. So the next requirement is okay, next requirement I have 2700 is the cost of sales, but how I have got this 2700? Okay, so what is this 2700? So how I got this figure? So basically, you know, the CO is coming from material master standard price. Okay, this is standard price in the material master. Okay, but so the requirement is so okay, if you implement product costing, so you calculate the standard price and you can also use a cost component split. Okay, COS cost of sales according to cost component split. Okay, display cost. Okay, display COS according to cost component split. So cost component split is something like this. 2700 is equal to, it can be like based on the cost component split you created. So it can be something like this. So it can be raw material cost plus raw material overhead plus production cost plus production overhead. So it can look like, so the cost components, the standard cost can be uh, split into different components like this. Okay, so for this we need to implement. So the solution is, okay, COPA valuation. COPA valuation using material cost estimate. Okay, instead of just sending the total COS, so you can transfer the cost component split into COPA. So here, okay, let me okay, I need to add more more value fields into the operating concern. Okay, for example here, okay, so here we have our cost component split has 4 components. So I included four value fields into the operating concern. So one for raw material cost, and one for raw material overhead, and one for production cost, and one for production overhead, like this. So for example, this 2700 can be, so 1500 is rupees uh, is raw material cost, and 150 rupees can be raw material overhead, and 900 production cost. So how much difference is there? So 2400, 2550, and 150 rupees is the 150 rupees is the production overhead. So instead of showing the cost of components, cost of sales, so it can be split into according to the cost component split, like this. Same way, this can be 2000 rupees. Okay, so it can be 200, it can be 700, and it can be 100, like this. So here, instead of just cost component, just cost of sales, we are showing the cost component split for the cost estimate. So here we extract this information from cost estimate. Okay, so this can be done using this COPA evaluation using material cost estimate. Okay, so I have one more requirement. So the requirement is like this. So requirement, okay, see at the month end. So this data is live data. For actually, when you transfer the data from SD or billing data into COPA, so this data is information is extracted. But at month end, new cost estimates are prepared. Okay, new cost estimates are prepared. Okay, COPA should reflect the new cost estimates. Okay, so at month end. Okay, for example, so this is the previous cost estimate is 270 rupees here. Okay, so 270 rupees for each kg. So for example, new cost estimate is like this. Okay, new cost estimate per product A is equal to is 280 rupees. Okay, and so automatically cost of sales will become 2800 rupees. So I want to, this price should be reflected in the COPA data, okay, which is more recent one, okay, and which is more actual realistic one. So what I do is, so we implement, okay, okay, the solution is periodic valuation. So as the name itself is self-explanatory here. So periodic means it is performed or executed on periodic basis. So this is a periodic activity you have to do at month end after calculating the new cost estimates, after preparing the new cost estimates. So as these previous ones, for example this one is online, and this one is also online. So now you know the difference online and periodic. Online means when you transfer the data from the billing document to COPA. So this thing happens automatically, and these charges are calculated automatically. And here, so when you transfer data from billing document to COPA, so this cost component split is imported into COPA as well. So it happens automatically. But this third one is a periodic activity. So you have to perform some functionality at month end after preparing the cost estimate. So here how it's going to look like this. See here the difference is 10 rupees is difference for each item. So for total cost of sales difference is 100 rupees. So what happens? So here, okay, let me copy this. So here delta records are generated for the difference amount. Okay, delta records are generated for the difference amount. See already this for example here, so already we have these records in COPA. So these records are not going to be, so this record so you cannot be replaced with a new value. So what happens is a new record is generated for each for the difference amount. For example here it can be, okay, for example it can be product A, and so difference is 100 rupees here. And so how this 100 rupees is contributed, so maybe 50 rupees difference in raw material price, and 50 rupees okay, 5 rupees difference in raw material overhead, and 40 rupees difference in production cost, and 5 rupees difference in production overhead. So what is the reason for this difference, that also you can see here. So whether the price difference is because of raw material cost, or whether the price difference is because of production cost, or any other cost components you can easily display here. So that's the advantages of COPA evaluation. So what we discussed is a kind of overview here. So the practical configuration, we are going to see the configuration and we are going to see the output practically in the coming sessions. And here one more thing you need to notice is a overview kind of thing. And we have dedicated topics for these three kinds of valuation, because we are not going to see these three valuations in together, because there are some dependency issues here. For example, so this one, the first one using the valuation using conditions, you can do after the basic COPA configuration. The second one, so the second one, valuation using material cost estimate, this should be done only after implementing product cost planning, because so we need to make all the settings for product cost planning. So we need to prepare the standard cost estimate, and we need to create cost component structure, and that cost component structure can be imported into transported to COPA. And this one again, like it can be this one, periodic valuation can be done on periodic basis. If you are using actual costing material ledger, after implementing that, so you can check this functionality after preparing new, or else if you are using just the standard cost estimates without using product cost planning, so with that one also you can do that. So that's the reason, so we are going to see these three kinds of valuation at three different places during the course. Okay, so that's about the COPA evaluation. So we are going to see the practical output of this particular functionality in the coming topics. Okay.